Hey guys, welcome back to SteamStax, and today I'm going to be going over a long requested Alchemy and Combat build for The Witcher 3. Now I've been putting this build off for quite a bit because I didn't believe that Alchemy was really that great until I started seeing the numbers online, and people are getting some pretty great numbers, so I decided to make one for myself, and sure enough, it does ridiculous amount of damage. The critical damage that it puts out is just insane, especially if you have the right gear on and the right swords on. Now I had to download this character at level 70. This isn't my actual character because I didn't have enough skill points to show you this, guys. So that being said, you need to have about 70 skill points to be able to do this build. I know that's a lot, but especially a little bit ways through New Game Plus, that shouldn't be a big deal. And as long as you have places of power, you can get about 17 of them, I think, just by finding them all. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take a potion so I can forget all this guy's shitty skills that he has learned in his builds. So we're going to get right into it. Let's go to Alchemy here. Now the thing about this build is it has a lot of useless abilities that you would have sunk points into that you don't actually need. So that being said, the first couple rows here, you can actually do whatever you want. The point of just sinking points into this is just to unlock the next row of skills. So the useful skills won't come into play until the last couple rows here. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sink 5 points into the Heightened Tolerance, which increases your potion overdose threshold by 25% and increases your potion duration time by 25%. I'm going to go ahead and assign that here. You can also put another 5 points wherever you want. I'm just going to put another 5 points in here just to unlock the next row. You don't need to. I'm not going to even assign it or anything like that. But moving on to the next row, I'm going to go ahead and put 5 points into Refreshment, which increases potion dosed imbibed heals by 25% maximum vitality, which pretty much means no matter what potion you drink, you get a 25% maximum vitality. So that's kind of an extra health potion for you, especially if you take other potions besides Swallow. It's really nice. It also increases your potion duration time by 25%. I'm going to go and assign that. And just to lock the next row, I'll put another 5 points in here, and that'll lock the next row. I'm not going to assign it, though, because there's better abilities I can sink costs into. So moving on, this is the bread and butter of the actual Alchemy build here. Go ahead and put 5 points into Synergy, and it increases your bonus for your mutagen placed in the mutagen slot by 50%. And increases your potion duration time by 25%. So pretty much, if you were to put a greater mutagen in, it'll increase it by 50%. So a greater combat mutagen, which is 40%, will go up to 60% damage. So that's actually quite a big ability here. I'll go ahead and assign it. And another one of these, you can go ahead and do whatever you want, but I'm going to go ahead and do another 3 points into this. Potion effects don't wear off until the potion toxicity falls to 70% of the maximum level. This is just a personal preference thing. You don't need this. Once again, most of this is just your preference. There's actually only 3 abilities that you need to have for this build, one of them including Killing Spree down here. So go ahead and sink 5 points into that. What this does, if potion toxicity is above 0, each potion killed increases the chance for critical hit by additional 50%. So as long as you have your toxicity above 0, you have an extra 50% chance of getting a critical hit. So that's massive. So go ahead and assign that. And also the next one that you probably want to do is you want to do Hunter Instinct. So go ahead and sink 5 points to that, and when adrenaline points at their maximum, critical hit damage against the target enemy type is increased by 100%. So not only you're doing 50%, you have a 50% greater chance of getting a critical hit. If your toxicity is above 0, your critical hits are 100% the damage. And once again, that'll increase your potion time by 25%. Now, a lot of builds that I've seen online on this Alchemy build have points into this fast metabolism, and that is not a good idea, because like I said, with this killing spree, you want to keep your toxicity above 0, and what this fast metabolism does is it makes your toxicity drop faster. So it's actually good to be somewhat poisoned and your toxicity is above 0. So that is all for Alchemy. So we can go over to Combat here, and this is where you're gonna get a lot of your critical damage and your critical hit chance. So go ahead and sink 5 points into Muscle Memory here, and go ahead and assign that. And as you know, it increases your fax attack damage by 25%, which is definitely your main ability or main attack that you're going to be using. I would go ahead and sink another 5 points into Battle Trance here, Resolve, and your adrenaline point loss upon taking hit damage is lowered by 100%, and your adrenaline point gain by 5%. So this build also deals with some adrenaline points, and you want to keep those adrenaline points high, and you want to have as much as possible. So go ahead and assign that as well. Next ability you want to do is Precise Blows. Increases your chance of landing a fast attack by 10% in fact attack critical hit damage by 75%. You also get another adrenaline point gain of 5%, and I accidentally just fucking overwritten that. So I'll go ahead and put that back on. And the next one you want to do is this Crushing Blows, which increases strong attack critical hit by 10% and strong attack critical hit damage by 75%. Go ahead and stick that one on. This one's actually just preference, just because I like Whirl so much. I'm going to go ahead and put another 5 points in that. If you don't know what that does, you spin around and you pretty much kill everything in the fucking area, and it's awesome. So I suggest you put that one on, because it does ridiculous amounts of damage, especially against big lumbering enemies like a giant or a golem or something like that. So it consumes 50% less stamina and adrenaline point gain another 5%. And lastly, I'll put another 5 points into this Razor Focus here, and you instantly gain 1 adrenaline point when entering combat, and your adrenaline points generated with sword blows increased by 25%. Excuse me. And then your adrenaline point gain is another 5%. So go ahead and put that on. And last but not least, you should put on your mutagens here. Now, if you don't have greater mutagens, I would suggest going to find them as soon as possible, because they are very helpful. As you can see, it goes up by 900 with this synergy skill here that increases it by another 50%. So that's very, very nice. Go ahead and stick all your mutagens on. Put the green ones on the Alchemy and put the red ones. Let's see if I can fucking find the red ones here. And put the red ones on your attack skills there. So you're doing a plus 125% or 120% attack, and then you have plus 1800 vitality. So not only is this build does do ridiculous damage, it also has some pretty good survivability here. So just to show you guys what this build can do, I'm going to kill a wyvern here for you. Don't worry about that the level is about half level 70. I couldn't find anything that was about level 70 on my level. So that being said, please note that this character that I downloaded doesn't have the ideal sets of weapons and armor. Is absolutely shit weapons and armor, to be frank. I would definitely use the mastercrafted feline gear, which gives you plus 40% attack bonus and then the plus 20% critical hit chance. I would also have a superior thunderbolt on, which gives you that extra attack power, and it'll keep your toxicity above 0. So I would always have that on when you're fighting or in combat. So that being said, we can go ahead and move on. Throw in that thunderbolt, gets your toxicity above 0, and then you can see 2500 critical hit. That was a 3300 critical hit, so you can just see I'm doing critical hits left and right. So that's the thing with this build. You'll do critical hits, and you'll do them often. So it's definitely, there's a 4000 damage critical hit. So let me know what you guys think of this build down in the comments below. Go ahead and suggest any other builds you want me to do. Sorry this video seemed a little rushed. I am very busy with other schoolwork and stuff like that, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you would like. I'll be covering Blood and Wine expansion whenever it comes out. Probably doing an initial impression video or some kind of review of it. I am extremely excited for it, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if you're excited for it as much as I am. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!